I think he's totally awesome. He has got everything. He is, he can be tactful when he thinks about it, but he has a good business mind, loves his country and his people, and he can talk to anybody on the same level. You get the feeling that if you were to meet him in the street, he would talk to you as though you're his friend. He likes to laugh and joke even when he's in the Senate. So yeah, he is totally awesome, and I think he's great. Well, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte has delivered his speech on the state of the nation to the Philippine people. Was it a positive statement, or were there some negatives too? Let's have a look at some of the points of his speech, and then you can decide. Hello, and welcome back to our channel. It's been some time since I spoke about Duterte, and as he's just delivered this speech, I thought this is probably a good time just to put my opinion on it. I know that a lot of people have already put videos out about the speech. It was a very long speech, over 5 hours in total. This video is not going to be 1/10 of that. I'm not going to deal with everything that was spoken about. There's just far too much. And also, I did watch the speech or listen to it, and quite a lot of it, understandably, is in Tagalog, which I don't speak. So there are some things that I probably missed. So let's have a look. Now, throughout his speech, he mentions the corruption again in the Philippines, and he is obviously very disappointed with his own progress in trying to get rid of the amount of corruption that is, well, it's littered throughout the government, the military, the police, from top to bottom. And he openly admits he underestimated the amount of corruption that was in the Philippines, is in the Philippines, and he's not sure whether he will ever be able to conquer it in his allotted time. But I certainly hope so, and I'm sure the majority of the Filipino people hope that he can as well. So we'll see. He knows all too well that the corruption in the country is probably the single biggest threat and problem to the Philippines to make better of itself. It's holding the Philippines and the Filipino people back. Anyway, so yes, that is a negative, I suppose, but he's doing the best he can. He's also said that there's far too much talk in government when a problem arises and they're trying to deal with it, and not enough action. And he wants to change this. I believe a lot of the government agencies have been told now that when an issue develops, he wants action taken within 3 days, 3 working days. Unlike now, where it can take 3 to 6 weeks, maybe even longer. I think it's the only exception will be if there is a need for further investigation. Otherwise, it's to be done in three days, or that department will suffer the consequences. He is also going to reinstate the levy on the coconut farmers. This was a levy that was set up to help farmers plant, grow and farm coconuts and the previous administration withdrew it. He wants to reinstate this so that it becomes a viable business again. And obviously, the more things that the Philippines has to export, the better it is for the country and for the people. So that's one thing. I will just add that it was a very long speech, so I have had to make some notes. He is also trying to drag, I think that's the word he would use, drag the Philippines into the 21st century. There is still far too much business done without using the latest technology that is available and is available in the Philippines. I don't know why it's not being used. I'll give you an example. Well, we had some documents that had to be sent from Manila to Baguio to be signed, validated and returned. It took 6 weeks because a courier had to take them by hand. In this modern day and age, why isn't it sent by an email? It would have been done in 24 hours. But that's the way it is. But this is something that he wants to address and improve. He's also said he wants to improve law enforcement all through the Philippines, really, but particularly in the province. For some reason, the police in the province don't seem to think that when these minor things happen, it's not within their jurisdiction to deal with. Oh, well, I'm sorry, but it is. It's what you're paid for. And he wants to improve this. And I think that the people in the province would, if it comes about, see quite a good improvement. I will also just add that he did say in the speech that he knows his time is short. He's over halfway through his term now. So he is trying to fast track as much as possible of these bills and reforms to try to get them through the Congress before his term comes to an end. Education was another thing he mentioned, that he wants to improve the education system. Again, particularly in the province where, as I'm sure you're aware, so many people don't or can't manage to send their children to a school, or there isn't a school. And education is key to getting work. No education, no work. So yes, that's another good thing. There will also be more money available for small businesses, private enterprises, because again, this is something that will improve the way that the Philippines deals with the outside world. The more things you have to offer, the better it is for the country. So that's another good thing. He knows that this is a way of creating more jobs, so that's got to be good. He has also mentioned that the OFWs will be getting greater protection when they are working abroad. I'm sure that you've all heard the stories of the OFWs that are being abused in various countries around the world, and this has to stop. These are the president's own words, and yes, it should stop. It's criminal. They're being used as slaves more than anything else. So yes, that's another good point. One other thing that he did mention was about the Spratly Islands again. And again, he is kept being called by certain people that they should take military action against China for taking the Spratly Islands. And he, as he quite rightly says, the Spratly Islands are at the moment under the possession of China. They are on the island. They have a military base there. He is negotiating still to try to get like shared rights on the oil which is there, and the fishing rights. But as he quite rightly says, they have missile sites there which could strike Manila within 7 minutes. Do you really want to risk that sort of action? I don't think anybody would want that. There is, to be honest, so much that he mentioned in the speech. I couldn't possibly cover it all. Just these few little things that I found of interest, and I think to the layman in the Philippines and in the West would be interested in those. And the one other thing that he mentioned towards the end of his speech, he said that we are entering an era of consequences, and he is quite right. This just isn't the Philippines. This is a worldwide consequence because of the years and generations of people who have not done what they should have done. They've been too inactive in doing something about the pollution of the planet. It's destroying the planet. I would also like to add that despite some of the negative things that came out in the State of the Nation speech, I still believe that President Duterte is the man to carry the Philippines forward. I think he's totally awesome. He has got everything. He is, he can be tactful when he thinks about it, but he has a good business mind, loves his country and his people, and he can talk to anybody on the same level. You get the feeling that if you were to meet him in the street, he would talk to you as though you're his friend. He likes to laugh and joke even when he's in the Senate. So yeah, he is totally awesome, and I think he's great. And I hope you found it fairly interesting. If you did, please give us a thumbs up, like and share, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.